can stream hear me? That's the question.
Well, now I can hear you.
I didn't do anything! Oh my gosh. I love computers.
Computers are awesome. Hi, stream. How y'all doing? Sounds like stream can hear both of us, so that is a good thing.
Yes.
Sleepy. Yeah, I hear the sleepy.
Yeah, it's the weather for today too.
Yeah, the weather here has been really weird. Like, we had a storm pass through, and then it was sunny. Then we had another storm pass through, and then it was sunny again, and now it's just cloudy. And you know, the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
I just love it. Some Rocket League, nice.
I was gonna say my biggest surprise today was learning a little bit about Overwatch, but yeah.
I haven't played Overwatch for a very long time. I should probably go back and see how it's doing as a game these days.
Well, my son really likes it, so.
Oh, good. Yeah, that sounds like my experience with Rocket League, which is part of why I don't play it anymore.
I am just... I don't know. Those kind of esports games just don't interest me. Like, at all. Whatever.
I mean, everyone's going to have the things they like, they don't like. Things that match, things that don't match. Well, Vaccine, it's because you lost, obviously. You should just win.
Yeah.
Validating Dark Souls. Two very different games, but two solid ones at that. Oh wow, I messed up the palette on the title screen. That's
where?
Cool. The bushes were were not a good color. Oh well.
I'm not seeing it, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, it's fine. It's something that I think I would notice, and maybe not too many other people.
Okay.
But that's okay.
Hey, I guess you have the right to be critical.
Yeah, I'm allowed to talk shade on my own hack, right?
Yes. Hi, Bun.
How you doing, Bun? Radio. So I guess if you wanted to start us off.
Hang on, one thing.
Alrighty.
Oh, okay, I just whispered you the exact same thing, but hey, you feel free to type whatever you want to say, alright? I know you had a big day yesterday, and you know, we can all do this together some other time. And okay, I will just briefly start on my introduction on this game. So I got turned on to this streamer named Princess Bun Bun and her husband CEO Cadella, and Bun is about the same level as I am with Kaizo, and I am just enjoying watching, and you know, I think both of us feed off each other sometimes. You know, it's nice to see, you know, someone with the same skill level, not someone beating Casio in 20 minutes.
Who would ever do that?
Yeah, I have no idea. But I don't know. And so I saw that Darkanine had made this hack for her, and I'm just like, okay, I gotta play it. And the response kind of was, well, why? Nobody you know, nobody, you know, just, this was just to help me learn a couple tricks and whatever, nothing real. And then she posted it in her Discord, and a bunch of us played it, and then some of us started playing it faster and faster. And did we figure out the lowest time right now for sure?
I don't know the official time that is lowest, but
the lowest one I know is John 82 Black Sheep with the 606.75.
yeah, that's the right person. I don't know if that followed the timing, but I think that's definitely the world record right now. I think that's faster than I've beaten it too.
Uh-oh. Those are fighting words.
Clearly I have to go and go and grind it out.
Ryan, if you want, I can mod your SNES Classic for you, and I can give you all sorts of hacked games. Or you can just play them on an emulator too. I can set you up.
Yeah, if you use RetroArch with the SNES 9X core,
Yep.
there's a thing called Run Ahead that you can set, and it reduces the input lag by quite a bit and makes these games, in my opinion, a lot more playable than just stock emulator.
Hyper 6 or Responsible World are definitely good beginner hacks.
Yeah, I fully agree. You should only take like 20 minutes or so.
Yeah. And
Hyper 6 is an incredibly difficult hack for those who don't know, and Responsible World is both an incredibly difficult and incredibly, I won't say malicious, but there are some things in there that are not quite ethical.
yeah. But I don't... Was Responsible World actually ever made to be beaten without... Was it actually made as Kaizo Light officially or not?
I want to say yes, but I also am not a guru when it comes to Responsible World. Whether it was supposed to be a fun experience is a separate question from whether it was made to be beaten RTA.
But anyway, for those here who don't know, Kaizo is divided into two groups, and it's what, light and hard, and the difference is not what you'd think. Light is just humanly possible, and there's an all huge scale of difficulty from it. This is a relatively easy hack, and you know what? I'm sorry, Darkanine. I will let you.
Yeah, those are basically the two main categories. There's also a category called Kaizo Pit, and those are things where you need even more tools, and it's just, there's no humanly conceivable way to beat them without using tools like Frame Advance, save states, various other task tools. Kaizo Hard, you need at least save states, some form of tooling, and then Kaizo Light is human beatable without save states, without other tools. This very much is Kaizo Light, and this is also my first hack that I created. So I've played around in Lunar Magic for a little bit. Lunar Magic is the tool that allows you to create these Mario World ROM hacks, but I'd never really put something together. And I've kind of worked on a few different projects here and there, but nothing ever really came together because of how difficult it is for me to actually concentrate on one thing for more than 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So when I was watching Princess Bun Bun, I was watching her go through all of the Mario World progression, so beating Mario World any %, beating Mario World 96 exit, seeing all of this progression, dipping toes into Kaizo, and when I was watching her play through some combination of Quickie World and Moo World. It came to me that I could. I don't know if this is like a bad way to put it, but I could kill two birds with one stone here and actually do the whole process of putting together a hack and also create something that was designed specifically for where Bun Bun was in the Kaizo journey at that point. So the metrics that I gave for myself were, I wanted it to be short, so something that is not just a level, but also not this 30-40 exit epic. Because A, I didn't want to honestly design that many levels, and B, I didn't want to create something that was just this enormous thing that would feel like this mountain to climb. I wanted to create a nice hill, just a nice fun, almost bite-sized adventure, and I wanted it to be tuned directly for Bun Bun. And so I went off on this journey. And over the course of something like 5 or 6 months, I was putting together levels, I was getting feedback from CEO, I was getting feedback from my testers, and every single level I wanted to either put something that Bun Bun liked or that I think Bun Bun would enjoy, but also challenge Bun Bun with something that maybe she hasn't seen before. So for example, there's a Yoshi ditch, and at that point I don't think that Bun had ever done a Yoshi ditch, and so I wanted to make sure to put that. I wanted to make sure to put slope tech. I wanted to make sure to put controlled drop tech, just all these things that are very critical for learning Kaizo, but I also wanted to make it in a very approachable, very doable, fun way. And then I added a nice paint of aesthetics that I thought Bun would enjoy. So that's kind of how it came together. And the timing of this actually worked out pretty well, because it was never intended to be a Christmas thing, but that's about when it ended up being ready. And so with a last minute push over the last few weeks of development, that's when I got most of the work done on this. And I have to give big shout outs to my testers, RB Pimlico, all the low end, and Cascade, as much as I hesitate to call out Cascade. But they did a phenomenal job with understanding what I was going for with the hack, giving really good feedback about this isn't as easy as you might think it is, or this doesn't line up in a way that will make sense. And then CEO did a final test pass, and shout outs to CEO because he kind of saved a lot of this. CEO had deep insight on how Bun plays, what Bun enjoys, and so he did a final test run and pointed out lots of things that ended up making the hack better. And so that's kind of how the development happened. The shit I pulled down for a minute. I will. One sec. Am I allowed to do shoutouts?
You should be.
Okay. He has a weird spelling. Anyway, that's the spelling for him. He's phenomenal. All of those people are phenomenal people, and they provided a lot to this project. But aside from creating something,
maybe you're not.
I'm not cool enough. Aside from creating something that Bun would enjoy and that would provide a good step going on to the Quickies, going on to the Rodfathers of the world, it also taught me personally a lot about creating hacks. And I got a lot of help from people like Binovic, people like CO, for getting things done. Graphics, palettes. There's a couple of ASM things, but overall this hack is more or less fully vanilla. I think I have like a custom block maybe or something, but anyway. So that's Bun Island. As we get to the different levels, I'm going to talk a little bit about what that level was trying to accomplish, as well as a little bit of lore behind it.
Okay, and I should say this is going to be very much not a speed run, because if it was, you would not have much time to talk at all.
It's a casual stroll.
Yes. And I'm going to try some stupid things that I don't always, and, you know, just kind of have fun. But, Bun, I did want to say something. I've kind of shared these sentiments in some of our messages back and forth. But I wanted to let you know, coming up on Everything is Fine, my time was 9 hours 26 minutes. Sulfuring was 11 hours 18 minutes. Barb's Ship Hole is 5 hour 1 minute, and Rainbow Road was 6 hours 4 minutes. And I don't want you to get discouraged in that run of those 4 levels. After you beat those, and then White Moss Lair, just the feeling you get is amazing. And I know you get frustrated sometimes, and I just want to see you keep it up. And I'm really proud of everywhere you've gotten, and I think this is a great way to celebrate that. And your birthday stream was awesome too. I had so much fun. All right, so I guess, are we about ready?
I'm ready on my side.
And if anybody has any questions for Darkanine, please feel free just to put in the chat.
Yeah, I will be reading chat, selectively responding to chat. You know, the
Yeah.
normal stream stuff.
Yeah, just, you know, this isn't GDQ or anything by any means, you know. I don't care, just we're having fun. So, all right, let's go.
All right, let's do it. Are you gonna go to the Yoshi house?
Yeah, I'm going to try to remember all the Yoshi houses and all the blocks and stuff. I had to spend about... I played through it a lot this week just to break my go fast as possible habits. But
Fair.
Oh, that's a good question, CO.
What was my favorite level to design? Man, that's kind of... So the one I want to say that was my favorite was Bun Forest. And I think the reason for that is because... And I'll talk a little bit more about that later, but the reason that the level was created made me very happy. And the way that it turned out made me very happy. It's probably by far my favorite thing that I've ever done in Lunar Magic. But it was somewhere between that and Control Gem Castle.
Yeah.
I respond to that Maxime by saying shush.
All right.
We don't acknowledge fake Bun.
All right, so let's go here.
All right, let us go. And before you go to the Yoshi house, I want to talk a little bit about the overworld.
Sure. I'm thinking your chat's about 15 seconds behind, so do you want me to read?
I should be seeing chat pretty consistently.
No, I mean, I'm sorry, not chat. I mean, message boxes.
Oh yeah, I don't know how far behind stream I am, but yeah, for any message boxes, you should.
My stream looks about 15 seconds. So.
Okay.
All right, your voyage to Bun Island is about to begin. Good luck. Oh, just in time.
Just in time.
Welcome, TK. Thank you.
TK, thank you for the raid, and you're just in time for Bun Island raid and run. Always a good thing to go eat.
But oh yeah. All right. So let's go here. All right. Now pausing on the overworld for you.
All right. So I had never done an overworld before this. I had tried really hard. I watched hours of overworld editing. I tried to see videos about that. I tried to see like how to do it, how to even get started. The fact that this overworld came out as well as it did is kind of mind-boggling to me. But if you press start and then go around, you can show off the shape of the island, which I created as a little bun. And this is actually where the name, this is the where I came up with the name for Bun Island. Because originally I had no idea what the overworld was going to be. I didn't know what I was going to talk about.
I never noticed that.
It's an island of Bun.
Aw.
Yeah, it's a pretty basic overworld, but I'm happy with how it came out, and it taught me a lot. Anyway, that's all I want to say about the overworld.
All right, Cottontail Cottage.
Yeah, so Cottontail Cottage, named obviously because it's on the Cottontail, but this was the first level that I created a palette for. So it, I kind of landed on this pink and peach motif. And it worked out pretty well. And yeah, the message box just has a message for Bun in it.
Well, we're going to read it. This adventure is yours to enjoy at your own pace. I hope you enjoy, and please no ban. Dark.
I did not get banned for this. I just want to say that.
Impressive.
Yeah. I think Bun really wanted to ban me.
Not yet.
Well, not yet. No, there was no ban. No ban. I think I deserved it in 1 or 2 levels, but aside from that, anyway. So level 1, CO Stuffies. This was a level that I wanted to make in honor of CO, and because it's a CO level, I had to make it with Dino Rhinos and whatever they call the little ones. And then based on Princess Bun Bun's channel point rewards, I had to make a Wholesome AF reference, which you'll see inside. But this was a really fun level to make. It has something that a trick that I spent way too long on, which I'll point out once we get there. I've been timed out. I've been timed out at least once, probably.
All right,
Maybe.
let's start this here.
Yeah.
One word of caution: I hate chuck gates.
Yes, and I have a story about that chuck gate too.
And I missed.
Luckily, fast retry.
Darkanine redeemed Wholesome AF for 10,000 channel points.
Yeah, so that's a channel point reward that you can do in Bun Stream. So having that as the first thing that you do in the game, I thought was appropriate. And Bun Bun even let it be a free redemption, which was very generous. So this chuck gate, I created this chuck gate basically immediately after creating a video for Bun showing how to do chuck gates when she was doing Learn to Kaizo. And I thought it was... Yeah, it's like, you know what? Chuck gates are going to be in Kaizo hacks. We got to have at least one. But yeah, pretty normal first half. There's a timed thing with that reverse chuck gate, but it's nerfed enough where the reverse chuck gate doesn't really matter. And if you just sit there waiting, then that other little Dino Rhino is going to come up and then shoot you with fire. Yeah, this is kind of shows a little bit of slope tech, bouncing off those things. And yeah, you know, there's not really much to say about this level. It's pretty standard. It was me mostly playing with Dino Rhinos, and that moon at the end. If you just go straight for the moon, you'll hit a Kaizo block and miss it, and then you get faked out by thinking you're gonna fall, but you don't actually. I think Bun had a really funny clip from that, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Do I enjoy playing the game? This game? I really do enjoy playing this game. I enjoy playing most Kaizo Mario World. But yeah, that Kaizo block fake out. I kind of asked myself, how many trolls do I want to add in this game? And the answer was I didn't want Bun to ban me, so I didn't have a lot of them. I think there's only one, and I think it's in this level. Maybe there's another. But this level actually Fall Mountains used to be the first level, and then I switched them. I forget why, but I think that this order works out pretty well. Oh, I think I switched them because of the overworld. Do I plan on doing a sequel? I do not plan on doing a sequel, but I will be making other hacks. I'm currently working on one right now that may or may not eventually happen. It will be a bit more difficult than this, though. But that said, like, I have no idea. I might get inspired. Most of the creative stuff that I do, including Bun Island, is me very late at night being like, you know, I should do this, and then it either happens or I get bored and don't do it. This one obviously happened, but it helps. It helps when I'm doing something for someone. If I'm just doing it for myself, I'm not gonna ever get it done.
Yeah. Same here. All right, Fall Mountains. And on my first playthrough, I probably hit that block 100 times.
So this level didn't used to be Fall Mountain themed. The Fall Mountain theme was a very late addition. But I had written this message block, the don't fall off. It's like, so this is on a mountain, and there's a lot of falling things. Fall Mountain. So it's Fall Guys themed. But this was the first level that was actually built for Bun Island. And I wanted to show off one of the pieces of tech that got me hard when I was first playing, Kaizo, which is these falling gray platforms. And the reason these falling gray platforms are a problem is you step on them, they start to slowly fall and then accelerate because that's how gravity works. At a certain point, you can't actually stay on the platform anymore because the platform is going too fast for you to stay on it. And a lot of Kaizo hacks really, really nail that in. I did not, because I hate that aspect of falling gray platforms, but they're still very useful to get the timing on and how they fall and how fast they fall. So that was the whole point of this level.
And we're also gonna take a couple shots and see if I can break this level.
Yeah, there is intentionally left in cheese in this level. That was actually a call out to Quickie World, because the same cheese is also in Quickie World. That one was not intentional though.
Oh.
Oof. Yeah, and Disco Shell. I added the Disco Shell because Bun had just mastered the Disco Shell level and was a Learn to Kaizo. It's like, okay, well, Bun has decided that Disco Shell is is something that she's masterful of. So yeah, let's throw that in there. Yeah, so the cheese is you take the Yoshi. I am not playing now. You take the Yoshi and then you eat this Disco Shell. And what happens, if you're unfamiliar with Mario World and how this works, is when Yoshi eats shells, it gives him different powers. So if you eat a yellow shell, then you get the stomp power. If you get blue shell, you get flight, so on and so forth. Eating a Disco Shell gives you all of those powers at once. And the only one that we really care about is the flight. Yeah, Bun beating Disco Shell and Learn to Kaizo in under a minute. It's like, okay, well, you know what? Bun's gonna be a Disco Shell master, then yeah, that's what we're gonna do. None of them backseam, because Yoshi... Have you ever seen Superman or read Superman or interacted with Superman at all? And you know how kryptonite is the weakness? Turns out lava is Yoshi's weakness, and there's nothing that you can do about it, so, you know.
Oh,
it's just the way it is.
Had that.
There is an easier way to get that Disco Shell.
Really? How?
So when you grab Yoshi, quickly jump up into the left and go back on the munchers. And that way you don't have to time it. That said, that way also gives you a lot less a lot less room to do it.
All right, let's try this now.
Yeah, that way it's not a timing thing, but you also can't get as far. There you go. So yeah, you can get a Yoshi. If you're very quick, you can kind of get pretty far here. I intentionally made it so it's kind of obnoxious to get to the goal if you try to cheese it, but there are certain people who spent a lot of time trying to figure out how far you can get. I was not one of them. So here's the intended route. You go through, eat that thing. That just kind of shows, hey, Yoshi can do this. It also shows Yoshi can eat Pokies. And this is the first Yoshi ditch that I think Bun did. And I think Bun one-shot it.
This is the most important advice in any Mario game. Yoshis are tools, not jewels. Jump and use the A button to jump off Yoshi and gain height. Bye.
This used to actually be cheesable too. You used to be able to keep Yoshi through this, but my wonderful testers, I forget who mentioned it, but
see if I can.
One of them mentioned.
Let's see if I can nail this. Oh, first try.
Nice. So that moon is the hardest moon to get. I guess backing up a step, and there's the one troll. Backing up a step, I put a moon in each level, and then I put 3 in the credits. There is a run category of this called Moon Percent, and it's the same rules as normal, but you have to get each moon without taking a death before you either get a midway or you beat the level. So that moon in particular is kind of tricky. And it involves, there are 2 ways to get it. One, both of them involve P-Speed. One, you can grab the shell, get P-Speed, and then jump to the upper left, maintain P-Speed, and then jump over all the way to the right, grab the moon, shell jump. The other way is you can get P-Speed in that little pit down below with the shell, and if you jump, you have a random chance to actually make the jump up. That way is a little easier, it is random, but yeah, that is the hardest moon to get. So yeah, this next level, P-Balloon Playhouse.
A level based on the worst power-up in the game.
The best power-up in the game. Thank you very much. So this level was entirely because Bun just crushed Tubular. It was 100% only for that reason. So if you don't like this level, or if you think that P-Balloon is obnoxious in this level, just blame Bun, and blame Bun for being amazing at Tubular.
When I was a child, Tubular took me, I think, 4 or 5 months. That's all I have to say.
That sounds about right, and Bun just crushes it in, what, half a stream or something like that? But yeah, it was really actually very difficult to make this level. Designing him around P-Balloon is very difficult. It was for me anyway, in a Kaizo context. Just because of how many weird behaviors it has, and how difficult it is to add obstacles while still keeping it reasonable for a beginner player. I almost scrapped this level. I'm not gonna lie. I almost scrapped this level and started over with something completely different. But I'm glad I kept it. Yeah. My 10-year-old self, or however old I was, is crying currently.
But now there is some cheese you can do with the mushroom and the P-Balloon. I have not gotten to work, so we're not even going to attempt it. But
that was the ducking cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem with the ducking cheese is eventually you still have to take damage somewhere. But it does at least let you damage boost through a grinder. This also has a soft lock in it.
Yes, it does.
Which someone who's talking and isn't named me found. So shame on you testers out there. Shame on you. But there is a 1.2 of this that fixes that, but I scrapped that.
I was gonna say, if you ever do get it, the first level gets the copyright warnings on YouTube. It doesn't do anything. It just says you can't monetize the video. But all right, whoops. All right, so I accidentally hit B, so I guess we're gonna go.
Well, there we go. So yeah, it starts out pretty normally, I guess. I don't know. Looking back, I wouldn't say this is my favorite level, but it's competent. If you're very, very fast...
That is cool. That shell trick. I love that. And
I like
this is straight up everything that's wrong with Mario.
That is straight up me being too lazy to fix a line-guided saw. But I thought it was funny, so I kept it. Okay, so the rock things, those are wiggler butts, because those are actually rock sprites, just like bouncing rocks. But for whatever reason, this level has a different sprite sheet or something, and I never bothered fixing it because I thought this was hilarious. So I kept it. It fit the aesthetic of this level, but that so all of those little pink slopes, the triangles in that setup, that was actually my homage to Kaizo 3.
All right, we gotta go.
Yep, we gotta go. You don't have much time. I can just talk when you're doing this. So that little maze was basically me putting together some P-switch thing.
That was good. Let's go back. I missed.
Yeah, so this is showing
and
different ways.
There we go.
Oof. That little ending is showing that there are many different ways to deal with that kind of troll. I guess there are 2 trolls in this game then. One of the things you can do is the easiest one. If you just run through it with the shell, you'll kill the bullet, but you also kill the shell. The other thing that you can do is what you just saw, which is run back, jump on the bullet, and then go, and that allows you to keep the shell. The third thing you can do is drop the shell or throw the shell up at the bullet, and it will kill the bullet but not kill the shell. So there are many different ways to kind of approach this. And you don't need to keep the shell.
Oh, but I want to keep the shell.
Handy. But you want to keep the shell. In fact, I explicitly asked.
Sorry.
So in that message box, it says, were you able to keep the shell? Hinting, if you didn't, that there's a way. And kind of what I wanted to trigger with that is to kind of say, hey, I expect that you didn't have the shell here. I expect you just ran through. Can you think of another way to get through where you actually do keep it? And yeah, just a lot of this game is just kind of opened up tricks you'll commonly see elsewhere, just so that you can kind of explore it in a safe place.
Didn't get it.
Yeah. And unfortunately, the Playhouse had to be shut down for safety violations. Sadness.
I can't see why.
No yump. Tisk. Also, the soft lock in that level is where the maze is. If you're there after you hit the P-switch and you're still there, and then you kill the shell, and you also kill the rock, there's no way to die. So yeah, Spoopy Shack. So there's a story behind this level too.
All right. We got time.
You can... So this level, this was actually started as a draft for one of my other projects that got canned. So I took that and I heavily modified it because I thought it would fit in very well here. It used to have a trick at the end that unfortunately Bun had to play through twice. That was really hard, and I didn't realize how hard it was. So I think that that's the only thing I regretted keeping in the version that I sent Bun. But the story of this level is you come across just this mysterious shack, and you meet here my character Leary the Eerie. And Leary is a butler Eerie who's going to take you through and give you a small tour and let you meet the master.
And I have to say, this level, I would have not gotten through Friendly Phantoms like I did in Super Gracie World, like I did without this level. I can tell you that right now. Because this is a simpler Boo Escort level, and that is a not so simple Boo Escort level.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that that this hack is helping people. But it's also really hard to... It's very hard to make an engaging Eerie escort, especially when it's an entire section where you're escorting the Eerie, because he moves so very slow. So I had to come up with a lot of different things that that you had to do. So a lot of like back and forth, a lot of just up and down.
No.
And
Sorry.
That right, that right there, when you're going up and over, like the three Eries come in. There used to be a big Boo there, and you had to stand on the coin facing the opposite direction to lure the big Boo out of the way. But it was so finicky that if you didn't do it exactly the way that I did it, it would block off your entire path. And so I changed it and tightened it up a little bit, and I think it's a lot better now.
Missed it. I go to show off, and that's what I get.
So that jump up to the midway there, you used to have a Kaizo block. And I had forgotten to take out that Kaizo block because I decided that might be a little bit malicious for a hack like this. This was when I was doing my final like nerf things and make sure it's something I like before the testers and CO took a look. I think that would have gotten me banned very easily in Bun's chat if I had kept that in, especially with how hard the Big Boo was. But yeah, no Kaizo block now.
Master...
Yeah, for whatever reason.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, for whatever reason, Master is up through this pipe. He has no name. Alright, so this was a boss fight that I kind of designed. I'm not very good at making boss fights, but I wanted to kind of show off, here are all of the ways that you can damage a Big Boo boss. So you have a key, you have a shell, and you have that grab block. And there's also the concept where you have to take the key and open up the that yellow turn block to get one of your items. And it turned out like pretty solid, I think. You truly love this boss fight. I'm glad.
Yes.
I think it worked out very well. And I put the fishing Boo down at the bottom just to disincentivize you from hanging out down there. But yeah, it came together pretty well. It's simple while still being kind of rough, but that level is definitely the difficulty spike between early game and end game. This level is another difficulty spike, and it's also my favorite thing that I've built. The reason this level came about, Bun Forest, is I asked Bun specifically, what was your favorite level of Quickie World? Or what was your favorite Kaizo level? I forget what the question was, but Bun had to think about it for a second and then said Run Forest. And the reason that Bun liked Run Forest in Quickie 1 was because it was so difficult and such a trek, and it took all the time and all the grinding and all the perseverance and just all of the positive things about Kaizo, and then the payoff for getting the goal tape in Run Forest is just... It was immense. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to make a Run Forest inspired level. And not only is it a Run Forest inspired level, but I also got to play around with some semi-advanced shell tech, actually. The second half is hard.
Yes, the second half may take a little bit. Hey, Bun and CO, I wanted to let you know Darkanine were talking, and this will be going on YouTube then.
It will indeed.
After my 24-hour blackout period.
Yeah, I'm very happy with how this turned out, and I think the second half of this is probably the hardest segment in the game. But it's worth it.
It's the coolest when it comes together. All right, ready?
Ready.
I do have one question when we get there. Is there any way you can cheese that up to the second level at that point?
Not that I've found.
I didn't think so.
There's a way, but you're gonna screw yourself later, because you need to... The reason that this setup is the way that it is you need to respawn that bottom bullet. And so if you go up to the second section, you're just not gonna have the bullet there. It took me a very, very long time to get this hammer bro to work, while also not despawning that bullet. And I'm very glad I was able to keep that setup, because I really like that setup. But yeah, fairly simple first half, and then I just kind of say, okay, well now the gloves are off, the real Dark Souls has begun. So far this is all as intended. Oh, that was all as intended, but there's a death there. But yeah, if in that entire section, you're pretty much not stopping. There is some amount of turn back on each jump.
You pretty much can't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. And it took me a while to get this to line up as well as it does, because I had to kind of decide: do I want to make these control drops, or do I want to tune it so that if you're holding B the entire time for those jumps, all you have to do is make sure that you
there we go
are in the right place. Wow, good. Well, very nice second half. Yeah, the real Dark Souls has begun. But yeah, that second half, trying to figure out what to do,
Kevin,
is actually really hard. And I think that's the section. I think that's the section where people learn how to kind of control their horizontal distance as they're doing those jumps, so that they can line up on whatever else they have to land on next. And this level was specific. I came up with the idea for this level and kind of worked on it for a while, because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it. But I believe, and I think a lot of people will back me up, that controlling the height of your jump is the single most important Kaizo skill there is. There are a lot of other Kaizo skills that are very, very important and required to get through levels, but a lot of those skills end up being the very core mechanic of, if you're holding down a jump button and you're falling, you will slow down how much you're falling, and if you let go of it, you will fall faster. And so what a control jump is essentially cutting how high you bounce, and then just controlling the speed of your fall so that you land where you need to go. There are a lot of low ceilings in this level. There are a lot of progressively difficult jumps. And there's, I forget if I had a regrab in here, but every single jump, with the exception of a couple, requires you to change how fast you're dropping. And some things just won't be there if you're not dropping fast. And you'll see what those are later in the second half. What's the question?
I think he was not wanting to interrupt you, but
well, I can shut up. I can definitely shut up.
All right, this is probably my favorite level.
Nice.
And
I'm happy with this.
All right, let's go here. Control the height of your jumps and don't panic. Prince 201 bestie.
Gotta have the Prince 201 bestie. I always worry when I put like emotes, or when anyone puts emotes into a hack, if those will last for long enough, or if, you know, in 5 years or whatever, people will be playing this and like, what the hell are you talking about? What made me pick the music out? Good question. Honestly, I'll talk a little bit more about music selection later, but I spent hours on SMW Central looking through music, and I was kind of playing along this level, and I was looking for something energetic, and I just happened to click on one of the Dune ports. It's like, you know, this actually fits. This actually fits.
Is Bestie a tier 2 or 3?
It's a bits reward.
It's what? A bits reward?
It's yeah, it's a bit emote.
How much?
1K, looks like.
Oh, I've been saving for Wholesome AF, and I have it now. Ugh. Alright. Timing's all screwed up.
Yeah, trying to read that box will kind of destroy the one cycle here. You can save it, but yeah, so all of these jumps are fairly low. Getting this jump is actually really hard. And then this jump right here, if you have any speed right before the midway, you'll actually jump into those top spikes. And so that's what I was trying to show there, unless you're very, very good. And yep, you found the moon, because you won't see any moon here. But there you are. Yeah, this is another backloaded level. So these dry bones were kind of hard to tune. That was originally a lot harder, but then my testers told me to knock it off, and so I did. And yeah, just, you know, pretty small sections, but at the same time, there's a lot of tech here that is incredibly useful. So if you get through this level and you feel, wow, that was free, then congratulations, you understand one of the most important things in Kaizo, and you have it you know, down to the science.
I notice the more I play this level, the better I get.
Good.
And the worst boss. You thought Partner Fennel was bad? Here we go.
Fun fact about this boss. Very late in the development cycle, I screwed things up, and there was always supposed to be a midway here, but at some point I stopped testing that, and I accidentally broke it. So when I gave it to CO, he's like, it's kind of mean that there's no midway for the boss here. And I kind of had a little mini heart attack, because it's like, there's supposed to be a midway there. What happened? It was going to be like the worst section ever made. But thanks to CO for catching that, and shoutouts to me for
I missed
for breaking it. But this is actually a pretty difficult boss. I was thinking about making it harder, and then I asked the testers, and they're like, no, this is bad enough. But you know, it's an old meme, but it checks out. I wanted to make an up-type as a boss, and I didn't want to make a real boss. That's essentially the lore behind why this is what it is. Shoutouts to, I forget whose race level it was, but there was a race level that had an up-type as the final boss, and it had a like a mean eyebrows on it. Yeah, old but good meme, you know? Some memes are memes because they're quality. Some are memes because Kez says them, and sometimes memes just have a life of their own and we have no idea.
And I have found just bouncing on the saw forever helps out.
Yeah, there you go. And I really liked this finale. I wanted to have the clap and chucks clapping and saying yay, you know, and then you float off into who knows where. GG. Again, it was just me kind of clicking music and then seeing what I liked. And so these credits took forever to make. And the reason was I had to learn how to import graphics and convert them. So the first portrait that I threw in here, which is just to the right of the title card, that took me like 3 or 4 hours to get put into the game. And then there are 3 others, and those ones only took me 5 minutes.
I
learned a lot about graphics.
I was gonna say, once you figured that out, I'm sure it didn't take that long.
Yeah, it's not a very difficult process, but there are a lot of ways that you can screw it up and have to either start over or do something else. There's a lot of pits in this level, and I kind of decided early on that I didn't want there to be a way to die in the credits, because that's annoying.
Oh, but there's plenty of ways to die in these credits.
Well, yes, I think 2 of the rooms. Those rooms I'm okay with people dying in, but I didn't want you to fall off and get frustrated that way. Yeah, imagine dying in the... Imagine the credits being one of the hardest levels in the hack. Yeah, I misspelled Princess Bun Bun. It's the fake Bun Bun.
Oh.
But the thing I wanted to really do for my testers is I wanted to create a little room with a portrait of their choosing, and then kind of just toss in a little challenge for a moon. Actually, there might be... I think this version has 4 moons.
Yes, it has 4.
It used to have 3. It has 4 now. Hopefully one day it'll be... Yeah, hopefully. It would be really nice. But yeah, I added CO for 1.1. And I suck. I'm a terrible friend. I should have done it for 1.0. I just did not have time. But anyway, each of these rooms has a little challenge to get a moon. And I thought that they would be just a fun little extra challenge. They don't count for the speedrun. They don't count for anything other than just having fun. And if you get enough moons, then you break the infinite lives ASM and become dead on the overworld, so there's that.
I found that.
There is a way to fix that.
No, it's funny.
Yeah. Well,
all right.
I knew that there was a fix, I just didn't know what the fix was. So yeah, let's see CO's room. And of course, you know what CO's room's theme is going to be. So this is one of the places you can die in the credits. Nice little boo-woo there. I'm actually really happy with how well these got ported in.
Yes.
These graphics. The SNES GFX tool did an amazing job.
RB Pumliko.
So let's see RB's room. I forget which emote he gave. Oh yeah, there we go. So that's RB Pimmel Love. And this one is just, jump on some note blocks, have some fun. Boing, boing, boing. Get that moon. None of these... So only COs and Kez's are particularly themed after the person. This, technically, all the low ends is themed, but not really. This is just a basic shell jump. Let me post that emote as well. All of these emotes that
there we
sent
go.
me are cute. Oh, we died in the credits.
That was semi-intentional.
I figured. Maybe I should take away the floor in 1.2.
This is the greatest room.
Yeah, some nerd, Cascade. Oh, and I can actually post this one now because he changed it. So this one is all about getting that, get cursed. It's all about getting that floating block in a good place that you can make that jump. It's still kind of difficult to do, but...
Not really. You just have to know when and where to do it.
Yeah, well,
which is pretty much immediately as you come in the door.
Yeah, I made it as one cyclable as possible. But yeah, those are the 4 tester rooms. And next up is a ton of credits about the music ports. The thing that bothers me a lot in hacks, and this is I guess there's also ASM and tools. The thing that bothers me in hacks is when they don't have a song list. Because the one question as a streamer everyone is going to get, and I think that everyone in chat can answer this question, or figure out what that question is. What song is currently playing? That has to be by far the most common question a streamer gets asked when they're playing a hack.
What song what song or what game did it come from?
Exactly. So I put some special attempts here to show off every single song, what it's called, who the porter was. The downside is because of this font, which I would be getting a better font for next time. It takes up a lot of room, but I'm still happy with that. As far as music goes, the way that I kind of got all of the music done is I went to SMW Central in the music section, and I kind of typed in a word for what I was looking for. So maybe energetic or chill or boss or whatever, spooky. And I listened to dozens of ports. And as I was listening to the ports, I had the game up muted, and I was playing through the level. And if I played through the level and it sounded like the port could go with it, I would put it into a candidate bucket. And then in the candidate bucket, I would pick which one I thought would work best. And then I added those to the game, set it up, and then actually played it with game sound with that port. And if I still liked it, I kept it. There were a couple where I was like, this is okay, but I'm gonna switch over to something else. But it was that process. It took hours, many hours.
I was gonna say the music's perfect in this.
Thank you. It's like I never ever want to do this again, except I'm gonna do it again. But the other thing that I did, which I won't say not a lot of hackers do, but many don't, is I normalize the volume. And so what that means is when you download a port and you insert it into Mario World, there's a value, a variable in it that says, how loud do you want this to be? And so I went through and I loaded up every single track in-game, and I used OBS to kind of see, how is this sounding? Is it really loud relative to everything else? Is it not loud? And over the course of a couple hours for like 8 or 9 tracks, I sat there obsessing over, okay, is this track too loud? Is this track too quiet? I can understand now, having done that process, why ROM hackers may not do that for bigger games, because I could not imagine trying to do that for like 30, 40 songs. But I think it was worth it. I think it was very worth it.
Alright, so do we want to read through these here?
Yeah, go for it.
Or is there any one particular you want to shout out?
All of these folks are amazing folks. They've provided a lot to the ROM hacking community. I do want to shout out ROM Hack Races here, whose base ROM I very shamelessly used. Their base ROM is phenomenal. There are a couple things that nowadays I would probably change a little bit on. Like I replaced the retry, maybe fix up the map 16 a slight bit, but I don't think that this would have come together as quickly as it did without the work that the ROM Hack Races community and staff put into that base ROM. So thank you, ROM Hack Races. I wish I had a list of people who participated in creating it, but I don't. And then obviously Fusoya for making ROM hacking in the Mario World community a thing in the first place.
And along with ROM Hack Races, Saturday, 8 Eastern, watch it, race it. It's entertaining. And I really enjoy it, and my family really enjoys it. And I just love all the work that they do. Not only with the Saturday Blind Kaiser race, but just all the support they give and all the other ROM hacks that they also do events for. It's just the work that they collectively do for the community is amazing.
Yeah, and so they have a few different events. So they have the Saturday blind level races, and I'll occasionally race those, but it's always fun to check out. Glitchcat is the commentator.
Speaking of which, who won last night's race?
Some nerd probably. No, I won last night's race. It was a rough level, but it was very well built. Yeah, just occasionally.
Occasionally for weeks on end.
Well, so that's the thing, is that the ROM hack races, they go one of two ways for me. Either I'll clutch it out and get a top 3, or I'll just be like 7th place and be way behind everyone. And it really just depends on if they pick a gimmick or if they pick a tech that I'm either good or bad at. Honestly, the ROM hack races, for those who are at the skill level to do them, very, very worth it. It is how I learned how to blind read, and it's how you get a really good variety of just everything. Just everything out there, and you get to see a lot of passion from the creators. You get to see passion from the community. There's no, it's not supposed to be a stressful experience. It's supposed to be just, hey, let's have fun, and yeah, there's a leaderboard, but ultimately they incentivize people to just enjoy the experience of having the exposure of playing new stuff, and just doing something with the community for. And
not only that, when you literally will have the race and they will raid the person that hasn't finished yet, and people will just go hang out on that channel and just encourage them for the rest of the night. Oh, it's Sio's level this week.
All right, well, I guess I am racing this week. I forgot it was Sio's level.
What's the difficulty on it?
I doubt that it's decided yet. So the way that they do it is the weekend of the race, they send it off for final testing, and the various testers who happen to be available will play it, and then they will rate I think it's 3 different things. So there's difficulty of execution, difficulty of figuring it out, and length of section. And each of the testers independently throws together, here is my 1 through 10 rating for this. And then those get averaged together into the final rating for each thing. And
I'm just going to put it out there that probably the next 2 or 3 star level, you're going to get bombed with a ton of new racers, and it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, everyone should check it out, especially since CO's level is this weekend.
And CO's levels are always wonderful. All right, credits. ASM, Add Music, Capernal, ASAR, Alcaro, Base ROM Hack Races, Graphics, Dan Noodle, Harvest Fox 96, and Lunar Magic by Fusoya. Retry, Deed of the Fourth, and World Peace. SNES Graphics, Victor Vitela. The Status Bar, Benavik, is that right?
Yeah, I forget how he told me to pronounce it. He'll go by several different pronunciations, but yeah, I think that's right.
Hammer Brother, Kaiju, and Small Hacker.
Yeah, status bar was a combination of different tools and knowledge.
Music ports. I know where some of these go. Can you point out on where they were at?
I will do my best to remember.
Okay. Bad Moon Rising ported by Kygam, which is a title. KK Chorale by XYZ 600 SP.
That's the intro screen.
Yeah. Time to Learn ANAS Mario 130.
That's the Yoshi House.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was the Yoshi House or the Overworld.
So I tried to put these in rough order. So I may have gotten it wrong, but I don't think I did.
Times Grasslands.
That is the Overworld.
Athletic Remix by Gift Haven.
That would be CO Stuffies, I guess.
Steam Gardens.
That should be Fall Mountain.
Yoshi Island Mini Boss by Wyatt.
It's the P Balloon Palace.
And for those who were here earlier today, Wyatt is the madman that put together Casio. He is fully responsible for that.
Yeah.
Lost Child of Time by Musical Man.
That one's Spooky Shack.
Yeah. That's Chrono Cross, I believe.
Yep.
Pictionary title by Torch Kiss.
So that is Bun Forest. I also want to mention that Pictionary does not deserve such a banger for its title screen. But why can't I remember the composer? The composer who did the Pictionary titles theme in Silver Surfer and a bunch of other stuff. Absolutely phenomenal composer. Was able to do things that nobody should have ever been able to do across a wide variety of systems. I really wish that I didn't blank on the name. But go check them out, go learn about them. Amazing, amazing person. Anyway.
At Doom's Gate by Hooded Edge. Fight Against...
So I also have a story about At Doom's Gate real quick.
Alright.
So there were two ports of At Doom's Gate. It's the E1M1 from Doom. There was this one by Hooded Edge, and there was the one that was used in Grand Poo World 2. That was by Composer. I spent probably 30 minutes arguing with myself and swapping back and forth for Control Jump Castle for which port I wanted to use, and this one just edged it out because I liked it slightly better. I think it fit Mario World a little bit better. And that is no shame to Composer, but it shouldn't have been that much work to try and figure out which Doom I wanted. Yeah, Tim Fallen, thank you. Yes, go research Tim Fallen if you have not, and you're interested in the history of game sound and game music.
And I just go check out Composer sometime. He's doing video game music, making music levels in Mario Maker, does a lot of Jackbox, and occasionally a couple other things, and always cats on cam. Fight Against Smithy, Kevin M. Assuming that was the boss room.
Yeah, it's the pipe room.
And then KK Bossa by Wyatt. This is here, I'm pretty sure. By process of elimination.
I think it was KK. Was it KK Bossa that made Bun start crying in the credits? I think it was. And that made me so happy, because that was specifically why I chose that song. It's like, I want Bun to be hitting the feels when she gets in the credits. Yeah. lots of music. That was what, like 9 or 10 tracks? And yeah, special thanks. I need to shout out both Third Wall and Baldio here, because Third Wall, for a lot of the time that I was building this, he was also building Mostly Harmless, his hack, which is amazing. If you want a challenge, highly recommend it. But watching him do Lunar Magic streams is largely how I stayed motivated to continue doing this, because I kept hitting walls and I kept getting frustrated that I couldn't figure out how to do something, and just seeing Third Wall do his streams and seeing him hit walls as well and getting past them and getting help, and it was just very inspiring. So shout out to Third Wall, and also shout out to Baldio, because I very straight up, I won't say ripped off Run Forest, but heavily homaged Run Forest, but his kind of style for Quickie World was what I was going for here. Short sections, quick sections, flow. So just a lot of his design aesthetic is what I was really inspired by for making this. They are playing Null. Great.
Valdio,
it's Valdio MX.
It's Valdio MX. That's right.
And yeah, and this is my quote. I don't know if I made this quote or if I hobbled this quote together from other stuff that I read, but I'm going to claim this quote because I really like it and I've been saying it for quite a while. But always strive to be the best you that you can be. And having seen various folks go through this game, having seen Bun go through this game, and seeing Bun now crushing things in Quickie World, crushing 100% Robfather World, just seeing the progression when not even a year ago Yoshi's Island 1 was honestly somewhat rough. It's just incredibly inspiring to me to just see that level of dedication, to see that level of improvement, to see especially the community that goes around it. I'm kind of selfishly glad to be a part of that through this hack.
All. And thank you for playing.
Thank you for playing and for your friendship.
Bun, CO, anything you would like to add?
For my, there was a brief time for this hack when I was, we were discussing should this go on SMW Central, and I eventually decided no, for multiple reasons. The one, I think the primary reason is that this was very much intended to be like a gift for Bun and her community, and I'm very, very floored and happy that so many people want to play it. Once we get out of Bun's community, that's when you start getting into the stress of it having to be moderated, the stress of chat saying whatever chat wants to say, and I wasn't really feeling it at all. And I think Bun was on the same page.
The stress of having to fix your soft lock and a couple other things.
Yeah, well, and like I don't mind if I screwed up and like the soft lock. That happens. I'm happy to fix that. I fixed that in the version that I almost was going to release, but it's just one of those things where it's so easy for chat to be chat. It's so easy for a streamer to get frustrated. And, like, I don't know. I'd rather create something that was intended to be released on SMW Central for release on SMW Central, if that makes sense. That said, it is available if people want it. It's in Bun's Discord. If you DM me, I can send it. I'm very happy with it being out there. We do have a few people who have decided to speedrun it. There is no official board, but there are official rules, and we kind of just keep track of it. I haven't come up with a good way to keep track of it.
Princess Bun has a good way to keep track of it, and it's a channel in her Discord. Yeah,
that's the best that we have right now. Did we? I can't remember if we created a pinned message with the times.
Let's see.
At some point, I'll probably be a little more active in collating runs. Bread. I like that idea. Get a carton of eggs and just write the current world record on a new egg each time. Yeah, I was going to play around with building a bot to deal with it, but I couldn't figure out what the experience I wanted was to submit a run. And so I kind of canned that idea. I'm pretty happy if people want to send a video in that chat, then I'm happy to watch it and quote verify it. But unfortunately, we can't really have a speedrun.com page or anything like that simply because it's not a released game. Yeah.
Well, it's a wonderful game, and I think everybody that's played it has appreciated it and seen all the work and care that you put in for it, not just for the game, but for Bun and CO as well. Thank you for everything that you do for the community, and thank you for spending time here. I said, what, a half hour, and we're pushing an hour and a half. So.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Well,
and it was worth every moment of it.
Yeah, I tend to talk a lot sometimes. But yeah, I'm incredibly blessed to have had the response to this that it's had, and I want to thank you. I want to thank Fred. I want to thank Bun. I want to thank CEO. I want to thank everyone who's played it, who was a part of making it, who just showed interest in it. Because honestly, I don't know what I really expected. I don't know what I thought was going to happen, but the fact that people were asking to play it, the fact that people started speedrunning it, it just blew my mind. It's so good.
I do have a story I can comment to that. When I was watching Bun's first playthrough of this, and she was in the first level, by the way, and I asked what hack was it and where could I get it from, and her response was, Dark made it for me and I have no idea.
It's a good answer.
And
yeah.
I think that kind of started off some of it where, that there's other people that vanilla's too easy, and even like Quickie World or Akagari is too hard, and you need to develop some skills to take a step up, and this is a great game that just fills that in really well.
I'm glad that's what I wanted to do, because I was talking to CO a lot about, I think it was Quickie World.
Oh my goodness.
And just how there's a lot of unethical stuff, and there's a lot of stuff that's just not explained, and a lot of that in Quickie World is because Valdia never intended Quickie World to be a beginner hack. He intended it to be like a speed hack, where it's just, hey, here are some nice short sections that you can get through pretty nicely. It turned out that it was also a relatively easy hack, but it's Kaizo. In Kaizo, there's no such thing as easy. And so that's, I think, the thing that, especially as the community kind of collectively gets better and better, and is playing Casio and speedrunning Casio and doing all this stuff. Like, none of these Kaizo games are easy. If you gave someone who's not played a lot of platformers and not played Mario World, like they're not gonna get through it very easily, no matter how easy of a Kaizo game it is. And so I think that there's definitely I hesitate to say market for easier, more approachable, more accessible Kaizo. But I think that there definitely is, and I think that it's an underrepresented market.
Yeah. Because I mean, I know, like, there's standard hard and stuff like that as well, but I don't know. They just feel a little bit different.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference between a standard hack and a Kaizo hack as far as how it feels and how it's designed.
Anything else? CO, Bun, anything else?
I think I've said about all I can say about the hack. If you want the hack and you don't have the hack, feel free to reach out. But yeah.
And we love you all too.
That's what I have to say about that, Bun. Kezcad. Well, there's definitely a lot of love going around. Oh yeah, Akagari is rough. But yeah, feel free to reach out to me. I'll toss my Discord if I can find my Discord. There it is. I prefer sending on Discord because otherwise I'm gonna forget. But there it is. I've tossed it in chat. But yeah, I'm happy to send it out.
All right. Well, once again, thank you, and thank you for staying 45 minutes longer than expected. I enjoyed every minute of this.
Oh yeah, this was awesome. Thank you for having me on. And thank you for playing, and thank you for running. And thank you for being you.
Yes. All right. I think with that being said, take a couple minute break for a minute. And then I guess we'll move on to Super Metroid. Unless... All right.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm going to drop, and I will catch you all in chat.
All right. Have a good night.
Yep. See ya.